are getting into the game with Team 5 Horsemen and Team Darkwave White.
Alright, starting out with the Nautilus ban. Wonder if that's for the support. I think he's a pretty strong support right now. Goes all in really well, takes really well trades.
It's also a good flex pick because it can be picked top as well, and it wins quite a lot of matchups more than most people would expect.
It's usually, Nautilus you can usually get all over the place, like top, jungle, and support.
Yeah, in pro play it's mostly restricted to just top and support, but at this level it can pretty much go in all those three roles, jungle included. Although we did see it in Korea at one point in the jungle. There's the Elise ban, she's pretty strong on this patch as well.
She's usually the jungler of choice at the moment because of her ability for early ganks.
It's mostly the tower dive potential as well.
Yeah. Wonder if we'll get the Skarner ban. Still think he's pretty strong even through the hotfix. We'll see if purple team decides to do it.
Might just be hoping to take it instead of ban it.
It's pretty first pick worthy, I think. We'll see.
Alright, the last one's an Evelyn ban. Not too sure about that one.
Yeah, they might know something we don't. My only assumption is they want to have aggressive lanes, and that would be the only reason to ban Evelyn, in my opinion.
Yeah. Elise and Evelyn have a lot early pressure than Skarner, so...
Oh, it looks like it's going to be first Skarner pick, as predicted.
Pretty risky. I think he's still freaking strong.
Yeah, he's still really strong. There's ways to deal with it. However, it takes a lot of time to like poke around the meta and figure out what's good against things like Skarner and all the other juggernauts. But right now, Skarner is probably one of the most brutal to play against. I'm sure everyone can go to Reddit and just look at all the posts crying about Skarner right now.
I think it's just because people haven't figured out how to counter him yet. Like, he just came in all of a sudden into like a massive pick and no one just knew what to do, so they were just getting their butts handed to them.
Yeah, I wonder who they'll take for the jungle on the other side by Darkwave, because a lot of the strongest junglers are gone.
Those were two really fast picks, Janna and Lulu.
Yeah, that shows a lot actually. That shows that they're probably looking for a Protect AD carry comp. Probably a possible Kog'Maw, Juggermaw composition, which can be good, but it's up to the blue team now to draft against it.
Yeah, all the kite against the Skarner, so they might have had the Skarner pick planned already.
Mm-hmm. This is a really utility-oriented team coming out on purple side.
They're hovering some picks, which it's hard to see some of them. I think the Vayne would probably not be a very good pick against a Kaidi kind of protect the AD carry comp, because it's going to be a high range AD carry up front for the purple team, and on the other side you have Vayne who can't get in range of them to actually kill them.
Yeah.
That's a risky lock-in. The Thresh, though, is good all around. It provides some kind of heal, but also a bit of engage at the same point. There's actually some cool mechanics you can do with the Skarner and Thresh if you're really clutch. I don't know if we'll see it this game, but it's really interesting if you do manage to pull it off.
Yeah, this could be like a comp that they've practiced a lot before. Or just have to wait and see what the purple team decides to pick here. If they're going to take their AD carry now that they've shown Vayne.
I think it's pretty safe to lock in a Kog'Maw at this point, because Kog'Maw outranges Vayne, has a Trinity Force power spike. He can also abuse the Sheen power spike, so his lane isn't weak against Vayne whatsoever. I mean, in 1v1, Kog'Maw may have issues, but when are you going to have a 1v1 against a Juggermaw composition?
Yeah, and they did lock in the Kog'Maw and Gnar for top lane.
I don't know why we'd pick the top laner other than the jungler there. If they pick the jungler, they can hide the Lulu being either mid or top, but I guess they don't really, that makes 4 horsemen, or 5 horsemen, oops, get like matchups that they want into both of those lanes.
Could be that they really wanted the Gnar pick and they didn't want to take the chance on the blue team taking it away from them.
That's a possibility. Nar's strong because he can kite as well as do well in team fights. The only issue is there is no counter pick on the purple side. It's all up to how strong blue team is at drafting against a pretty obvious Juggermaw composition coming out.
It's like they
Couple
picked
assassins.
Yeah, Fizz top, Ahri mid. That could be a pretty scary combination for that poor little Kog'Maw.
It's a lot of damage threats on the one team there, which is pretty much what you kind of want to do. You want to pile it all onto the Kog'Maw, and as soon as he dies, their composition will fall apart. The only issue is Skarner's going to have a real hard time getting onto him because of the Janna Lulu. Even Gnar can push him away. It's mostly going to be on the Thresh to land a good hook, or maybe a good charm from Ahri.
Yeah.
I actually like the Ahri pick because Kog'Maw in the Juggernaut composition will be up front being aggressive usually. At least that's how you're supposed to play it. And Ahri's pretty much really good for charming whoever's wandering. Oh, that's an interesting lock-in.
Whoa.
Malphite. I did not see that coming whatsoever.
That's interesting because that means like Malphite only does one thing, he engages, and I'm not sure if that's what they want against the other comp.
Yes, he seems really out of place in to protect the Kog'Maw composition. I think that you'd maybe want something tankier, something you can peel with a little easier.
They really wanted that Gragas, but it was smartly last banned by the Five Horsemen.
Yeah, Gragas would have been a really good pick. I'm sure there's other possible junglers, like Echo would be decent.
Yes.
In my opinion. There's a few others that could be decent. The only issue is like, I feel like Skarner's jungle matchup is pretty strong against the Malphite here.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like the Five Horsemen have a lot more damage on their side than Team Darkwave White.
Yeah.
Like, if the Kog'Maw goes down, there's just really not much else that Darkwave White can do in that situation.
It seems like the Five Horsemen just have all the initiative in this comp. Like it's up to them to make the moves in order to beat Darkwave White. But I guess that's how a lot of Juggernaut comps, you beat Juggernaut comps.
It'll be interesting because the Lulu took an exhaust, so she's just looking to farm against the Ahri and go even. So we have 2 Ignites on the other side though. So it looks like the Five Horsemen are going for kind of a pick composition where they just single out a target and pick them off.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Fizz doesn't have a flash. It would probably be like really smart for Malphite to be camping top to really just try to bring that Fizz down like as much as he can and just make him as useless as possible.
Yeah, the only issue is I feel like Fizz Skarner will beat the combo of Gnar and Malphite.
Yeah.
Until possibly level 6, where if you get a really good Gnar ult with a Malphite combo, or Malphite first, then you can possibly burst down the Fizz if he's slow on his reaction time. But killing a Skarner is going to take a lot of damage, and all their damage is going to be on the Kog'Maw.
He's not really going to ramp up too much until around level 11. Takes a Kog'Maw a long time to get going.
Yeah. But that is their strength in the bottom lane, is the Kog'Maw versus Vayne matchup. So there's just a range advantage that you can get while you have on your W as Kog'Maw. And even in team fights. Like, it's all about his positioning in this and how well his teammates peel for him.
Yeah, if that's a really good Thresh, then that bottom lane is probably just not going to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also on the other hand, if it's a really good Janna, then it's going to be really hard for the Thresh to do anything because she can just sit back and counter everything and then let the Kog'Maw outrange the Vayne just simply through the W active, and Kog'Maw should get a CS lead because Vayne's laning phase is pretty weak, and then it'll be really interesting to see if they can get the small skirmishes that the Five Horsemen want, because that's pretty much mostly what their composition does, is it looks for picks and tries to blow people up really quickly. And they have a lot to stop that with the Lulu, the Janna, and the Gnar even.
Yeah, that Gnar ult is going to be like crucial to their team fight composition.
It's pretty interesting. Like, we could see some interesting fights with the Malphite and Gnar combo, because you normally don't see those two on the same team. And the reason for that is they usually go in the same lane. But with them on the same team, you can actually get the guaranteed knockup with Malphite ultimate, and then that sets up the Gnar for an easy wall stun, and then to an easy wallop. And during that time, Kog'Maw can get off a lot of auto attacks, and it can really shred a team if you pull it off. The only issue is if they ever fall behind, then they might start a fight that they can't really win, especially if Skarner manages to get near the Kog'Maw at any point, because Kog'Maw's only mobility is the flash and Lulu speed up.
Yeah. They don't really have and actually, yeah, that's all he has on that team to really save him. Unless, of course, yeah, Janna could take coin, and that could help a bit once that item is completed, but...
If Kog'Maw's decent, then I don't see any reason Skarner would get onto the Kog'Maw unless an RE charm or a Thresh hook hits the Kog'Maw. Then you can rush up and try and grab him.
Yeah, at that point it would be the front line's job to take the hook if it's going straight for the Kog'Maw. Alright, we're on the Rift now. Let's see, maybe we'll see a level 1 invade here. The 5 Horsemen are all grouped up.
Yeah, the 5 Horsemen have a more aggressive level 1 possible, just because of the Thresh pick. Whereas...
Oh, I think they're going for it. I'm super excited right now.
Yeah, unfortunately there's a ward there, and they're just gonna spot them out.
They don't know that, though.
Yeah, but if they wait for a bit, it could be really detrimental to the jungle start here if they go in at the...
Oh, I think they're going for it. I'm not sure where they're going right now. I don't think they realize they've been completely spotted out by that ward.
Not a single one has placed any trinkets down yet.
Alright, there we go. Johnny Cage just put down his. Couple more went down. Looks like they were just trying to get deep wards in.
Minions have spawned.
The interesting thing about this Skarner pick is you have these crystals on the map, and it's really kind of annoying because
they give movements. They give movement speed, don't they?
And attack speed.
And attack speed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's only the Skarner, but it's really annoying because you just can't fight near them usually. Like, you can't just fight a Skarner near those without a huge risk to just dying straight up to the Skarner.
It's especially annoying that there's one right outside Dragon Pit and right outside Baron Pit, so where most team fights happen.
I mean, the only advantage is they don't have a Mordekaiser, so they can't take the dragon as well as have the Skarner buff, right?
Yes, this is true.
I mean, then you'd have a Charizard too, and then you'd have 2 Pokemon you have to deal with.
I have actually never seen a Mordekaiser ghost the dragon, and I would love to in this tournament.
Pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I pulled it out in ranked once, and you can use the dragon while you back to just split push a lane, and 80 carries generally before 20 minutes don't have the strength to solo the dragon. So because of that, if they're trying to side split a lane, you can just use the dragon to zone them off the entire wave. Meanwhile, you're back in base buying. Like, it's a really annoying pick.
Vayne is actually out CSing Kog'Maw.
Yeah, there's a good amount of bullying going on. They got the early level 2 and are punishing the bottom lane appropriately.
This could be really disastrous for Team Darkwave White if their bottom lane just continues to be bullied like this.
I'm not too sure. They're trading decently. Oh, the
hook lands on the Kog'Maw, but nobody goes in on it, which is probably pretty smart. He was under turret, but he is really low on health right now.
Yeah, after that hook land, like, they were in an okay position because they're trading about evenly, and there's a bunch of minions about to hit the turret for Dark Wave, but after that trade, it's looking pretty risky. Skarner's not amazing at diving though, so they're not under a huge amount of risk, and Kog'Maw can safely just farm up under this turret here.
Luckily, the wave will be still in his favor a little bit closer to his turret, so he should be safe for a while.
Looks like we have a bit of a battle going on between Malphite and Skarner. That is just ended. I think Malphite tried to go in and steal his blue buff.
Oh, Ari taking a lot of poke, actually, from this Lulu.
Wow. Skarner's... It's interesting because you can take the crystal, but I actually haven't checked if that updates on the minimap unless you have vision of it.
It does update. So it's a warning sign, so it's not always good to get the crystal because it lets the enemy team know that someone is there, basically.
They have scuttle control top, so I don't see much happening on the top side, and it looks like Fizz has actually gotten a recall out of the Gnar and a TP, and he's still fairly healthy and can farm in the lane. Gnar might try and bully him with his back, but...
Fizz is Ignite down and TP down actually too. He must have used that earlier while we were paying attention to the bot lane.
Gnar's flash
all in
gone,
from
though.
Ari.
Oh, Lulu's got
Really
Ignite on her.
close. He's
But
fine,
she
though.
should be fine.
Yeah. And there's a flash from Ari that does not connect. You got
Getting some feedback on our line right now, but I think it's over. Okay, back to normal. Sorry about that,
Confusing
everyone.
me for a second.
I know.
Where am I talking?
Yeah. So Lulu actually did not use any summoners during that, and Ari used both. So that's actually really good for Dark team here.
Dark Wave White.
Dark Wave White.
Team
Sorry.
Dark Wave White. It's a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
Skarner's actually camping bottom right now. He's hiding in the bush, waiting to see if he can find a pick.
Lulu actually had a CS advantage until Ari got back to lane, so Dark Wave White is pretty well set up in the mid lane. Like, the Lulu actually is going to be safe for quite a while unless Skarner makes a play once he hits level 6.
Oh, the Skarner goes in on the Janna. Janna's running for it.
Janna's gonna have to
Flashes. But it looks like they're both gonna get. Oh no, the hook lands on Kog'Maw! And he's dead. But it looks like Janna's gonna get out okay, and Malphite comes in to
Malphite
steal a
gets
kill.
Oh, is he coming for more?
He's gonna have to be a little careful of that Vayne though.
He
Oh, it flashes,
Oh, he got
and
it.
he gets the double kill.
Ari on the backside.
Lulu's coming up right behind her though.
Yeah, and Lulu's level 6, so even if a hook landed and someone got low, she could deny the kill. But that was actually really well played by the Malphite because he flashed in and E'd first to make sure that the melee ability went off, and then used the Q with the long range to kill them after they flashed.
Yes.
Both
So after that trade,
both
everyone's
teams
out of
came away
flashes
from
over
that,
Lulu.
yeah. Flash is gone all around. So there's a lot of summoner spells blown there, and 2 kills for each team.
Both of Dark Wave's White went on to the Malphite, though. I don't know if that's exactly who you want them on in this situation, and the Kog'Maw died, so...
If they'd probably stayed on the
rough for them.
Janna, they would have been able to get her down faster.
Oh. Ooh, fighting the top lane.
Oh, we totally missed
Goes
that.
Gnar. Goes Gnar's way. It's pretty clean. I think just Fizz might have overstayed.
Yeah, Fizz overstayed with no mana, and then
Yeah.
he couldn't juke the Gnar. He tried to do an Ignite and cheese kind of thing, but the extra health Gnar got when he went Mega just denied the kill altogether. Skarner's found Janna in the jungle before that, so it looks like they're contesting for vision around here. There's
Looks
a few
like
deep wards in the Darkwave White's blue side jungle.
Yeah, it looks like the 5 Horsemen might try to be setting up for Dragon soon. They've got a pink ward already on it. A little early into the game.
It's interesting though, they have a pink ward, but they also have the Skarner Crystal, I guess, is what you'd call it, and Crystal Spire.
Crystal Spire, yeah. Don't get the lore wrong, come on.
Yeah, so if you try and contest that ward as, say, Malphite, and Skarner happens to be there, that could lead into potential problems. And Skarner's level 6, so he's looking for something for his ultimate, and lo and behold, Darkwave White has only 1 flash. Oh wait, Nars just came up, so they have 2 flashes, but their essential bot lane, which is crucial to their team composition, has no flashes, and is probably a prime target, and the reason he's warding up deep in the bot side jungle.
Yeah, Skarner's like camping out in this bush right, and he's going on Malphite. Malphite should be able to get out of this just fine though. He's pretty
Darkwave
tanky.
White is collapsing pretty fast. The Skarner's gonna have
Got
to
the
flash
cog
out.
on him.
Oh,
No, he takes the Thresh
Good
Lantern. Just a little skirmishing. Looks like Team Darkwave White might be going for Dragon now though.
Vayne is stuck in her lane because it was pushed previously, but she's getting it pushed and coming back. Will they be there in time? Team fight. There's no wards for the Fizz to TP in though.
They should
But
still
looks
be
like
able
they're
to
giving it up.
contest this. No, yeah, they're just walking away.
Yeah. Without the threat of the TP from the Fizz, and the Gnar would be able to TP behind them as well, because of the ward down in the river bottom brush. Oops, Thresh just used ult on minions.
Misclick R must.
Oops.
That's a little embarrassing.
I've never done that before, that's for sure.
I'm pretty sure I've seen you do things just as bad as that.
Ah, perfect mechanical skills. Come on.
I think that was the right choice, though, for the 5 Horsemen, because we saw how Malphite actually was bullying the Skarner around, and that was mostly because he had finished his Cinder Hulk already, whereas Skarner was still just sitting on the Bammy Cinder, so he didn't have all that much health, and the burn for Malphite was actually doing pretty decent damage to the Skarner, even though Skarner did have the Crystal Spire in his favor.
Yeah, the Malphite might be a pretty good...
He's going in on Skarner right now. It is
Down
red
Skarner.
jungle.
This is bad for Skarner because
This is extremely bad. Lulu's coming down. She flashed in. Alt on the Malphite. That is one dead Skarner. TP's
They're low
coming
on
in
mana.
from Fizz. Lulu is out of mana. And
Yep, they're all out of mana, and
yeah.
they're gonna pay for that.
Yep, that was totally not worth it at all.
Yep. They were he was invading without the bottom lane being in his favor, and with a low mana mid laner. It's pretty risky.
And they also
Yeah.
didn't respect the top teleport.
Yeah.
Like
Gnar
teleport and net,
technically
he
could-
have joined.
Yes, I think if
the
he had
support?
joined, it would have gone a lot better.
There was no ward though.
Yeah. Yeah, and the bot lane would not have been there from Darkwave White because they were under tower while the Janna was roaming to assist even if she needed it, but I don't think that she was even there for the assist.
That was just not a good trade for Darkwave White.
Looks like it's settling down a bit since everyone's waiting on cooldowns at the moment. The big ones to watch are usually the Malphite ultimate, because that's when he wants to get aggressive, and then the Skarner ultimate is when Skarner wants to get aggressive.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of farms and just 1v1s until then.
It's only about 1,000 gold lead at this moment, so it's actually quite possible for either team to pull through this. In the late game, it's pretty interesting to see what'll happen after the Kog'Maw scales, if the Kog'Maw will be able to ascend into the glorious Juggermaw we all know and love.
Malphite's heading down bottom too. Looks like he's trying to
some
help
already
Kog'Maw
shot
out. He's
quite a
going
bit.
in. Oh, the Vayne. She's exhausted. Her heal is down. They think she's getting out of there.
Malphite ult is up.
Oh, she goes down to Kog'Maw. Oh.
Wow, that range.
You can see just the power of the Kog'Maw. not even level 11. He's level 7. He just
Ooh.
barely hit level 6.
And Gnar 1v1's Fizz as well on the top lane. I didn't even see that.
We're too busy paying attention to bottom again.
It just seems like the Fizz was picked to try and counter the Gnar and take advantage with Ignite, but it looks like there's either small misplays or something's going on up there, and Fizz isn't respecting the Gnar, which Gnar is actually a really solid laner.
I think it would be a far different lane if Fizz had actually taken that flash. It'd be a lot safer.
I think the goal was to try and get the Fizz ahead with the Ignite.
They're not
I'm
camping.
not sure how often he's played that matchup.
Yeah, but the jungler isn't even visiting top to help Fizz out. He's hanging around mid. He's usually hanging around bottom.
Yeah, seems like the only gank the Skarner's made so far is to the bottom lane.
He's
That
hung
one
around.
time.
Yeah, he's hung around mid a couple times,
There's
but he's
a-
never actually gone in on it.
There's an Gnar and Malphite up by the Fizz, but I think Fizz will get out of this.
Yeah, he
And it's
should.
spotted by a ward and they sweeped it out. Skarner trying to gank bottom, but is spotted by a ward as well.
Yeah. The 5 Horsemen know that they have to keep the Kog'Maw down. I just don't know if they have the tools to do it.
It's actually interesting to note that Kog'Maw is 32 CS behind Vayne right now, and even though he has a kill and an assist, that doesn't make up for his CS difference, and Vayne is actually ahead of him in gold.
Yeah.
It's only about a 300, 400 gold lead though, which is basically a longsword. Kog'Maw doesn't care too much about the longsword. Most of his power spike is from the Trinity Force, but just from his levels, he gets a lot of damage off of just basically getting up levels, and he's staying even with Vayne in experience, so I still think the Kog'Maw will do fine, especially because you have to consider that Janna's shield will make up for that difference in gold.
That's true.
And they pick this Thresh to try and make plays down there, but there's not really any openings, and Malphite always shows up at like the key moments when Skarner's looking to do stuff, and Skarner's going on a secret mission in the bot lane. Unfortunately, they're not even there.
They've headed off into their blue side jungle. And Skarner has absolutely no idea. He's just wasting time that he could be farming at the moment.
Yeah. I feel like the Skarner has the wrong idea of what he needs to be doing. Like, I don't think there's a easy way to gank this Kog'Maw, especially once the Janna hits 6. Like, the Kog'Maw will have, like, the whole protection of the team. I feel like if he focused on the mid and top lane and got them ahead, and then in team fights, that allows for their assassins to get on the Kog'Maw
Yeah.
and, like, and assassinate
There's
him,
going to be a
then it
dragon
would be
fight
better.
possibly.
Skarner's going in. Thresh flash hooks onto Janna. He goes in. Vayne is going down.
Vayne's still alive.
Skarner,
Oh no, Kog'Maw's gone.
The Malphite's cleaning up though.
The Kog'Maw was just blown up. Malphite is just destroying the rest of the team with the help of Gnar, though.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty questionable for the Ahri to actually dive into the group of, well, basically Mega Gnar and Malphite. And she... I need to look at that again, actually.
She must have thought she had a good pick onto the Kog'Maw.
Looks like they're just... are they gonna go for it?
I
Okay.
think they're still gonna do
They
it.
have to go for it now, or else
They're-
it'll just be another fight. And without the Malphite ult,
They're
it's,
pretty low, though.
pretty weak. Yeah, but they can get it and back out quickly. Yeah.
Gnar might be... No, he's fine. I thought maybe he was gonna get caught out there by the Fizz. Gnar's actually completed his Black Cleaver too, which explains why he was doing so much damage during that fight.
Yeah, now they've got 2 dragons over on the Darkwave Wind.
Yes. And Janna just completed the Zeke's Harbinger, so that gives Kog'Maw quite a bit of power.
Wow, I'm
If
actually...
only he would build his Triforce, but
I'm surprised that she completed that first instead of finishing her coin.
Also, I went back and looked at the fight, and what happened is Gnar was still mini, so he was doing extra damage, and Ahri actually dashed in as the dragon was shooting at Janna, and the dragon splash hit the Ahri, which chunked her out pretty heavily.
Okay.
And then Malphite was on her in melee the entire time.
GG dragon.
Yeah, you don't even need Mordekaiser, and the dragon's still helping you out. Doesn't
Like-
bode well.
Well, it's the danger about fighting around the dragon pit is you have to be careful about who the dragon is aggroed onto.
Yeah. I think it was just the way that Dark Wave White kited that allowed for the dragon to be mostly on 5 Horsemen.
And Janna's ultimate actually got stopped, like, as soon as it started. Back in that last fight. I was trying to see if there's going to be a weird interaction with between Skarner and Janna, where if Skarner managed to grab someone and then Janna ult, if that would push the Skarner out with the person.
Yeah.
That might be something we'll see at some point during the game.
Which could be bad, because if Skarner grabs it and you ult the Skarner back into his team, you've pretty much just shoved Kog'Maw on a silver platter into the 5 Horsemen.
Yes. This Vayne is absolutely crushing Kog'Maw in CS now. She's 151. Kog'Maw's got 91 CS. That is a huge discrepancy.
Yeah, now it's getting to be a big problem at this point. The only issue is this Malphite is actually doing quite a bit of damage, and he's actually picked up a Sheen. So Malphite's actually looking to do damage at this point.
And it looks like 5 Horsemen are taking down bot turret right now. Malphite's on his way in with Lulu though. But I think, yeah, 5 Horsemen are just backing off. They're playing it safe. They just wanted the tower.
They traded top turret for bottom turret, so Dark Wave White are actually okay with this, because they're ahead in dragons. And they're actually scaling fairly decently, even though the Kog'Maw is behind.
Well, this should make things a little safer for the Kog'Maw. You can allow the wave to push up closer to the second tier, and you can try farming from there.
The gold lead still is only about 1,000, but considering the deficit that Kog'Maw is at, it's actually boding fairly well for Dark Wave White, because they have a lead even though Kog'Maw is down so much gold. Yeah, it's about 1,200 gold that Kog'Maw's behind the Vayne now.
That's a fair amount of gold that will make eventually. Yeah, that will start making a big difference in team fights. He hasn't even completed his Triforce yet, and Vayne's are.
Oh,
Fight on the Skarner.
Skarner caught.
I think that's
Skarner.
Skarner. Oh no, Malphite very wisely just stood on top of that lantern, so he couldn't go anywhere.
Pretty sure they removed that interaction. I don't think you can actually click the lantern with Skarner. Can you? You know for sure?
I think they removed it possibly,
Yeah.
but there might be one. There might be a rare instance where you can grab it as like you're grabbing someone.
Yeah, that might be
sure.
true. But it takes a lot of timing in order to do something like that.
Yeah, and that's the interaction I was wondering if we'd see, unless you know, Glorious Rito decided it
Looks
was
like,
too
yeah.
cool.
No fun.
Dark Wave White is just
fun
gonna
allowed.
take down the mid turret. That Ahri just got chunked.
Yeah, this Lulu is actually doing really well against the Ahri, which is surprising because Ahri is actually pretty decent as, like, known as kind of a mid lane mage assassin.
They're really even in CS. So I think the Lulu might just be outplaying that Ahri, plain and simple.
And with the gold from the turrets, even though the Ahri's like a few CS up, it's more than made up by the towers at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, like I thought, Kog'Maw's just hanging out back by his second tier, farming away, trying to catch back up to Vayne.
Malphite actually went and finished the Iceborne Gauntlet, or the Icy Mitten.
The Icy Mitten.
Call it.
I have never heard anyone call it the Icy Mitten. Skarner's
that's what
actually
everyone
heading up
calls it.
top right now. Nara just got out of Mega. He might be in some trouble
Oh,
here. He
flash the
flashes to
fish.
get away.
Skarner did not have ultimate there, and I think that in itself just showed that Skarner wasn't ready to make a play, and then tried to, and then they just couldn't capitalize on it. They do get the flash though, so it's not all for nothing, but that could have definitely been a kill if Skarner had ultimate.
It's true, but I will, if I was that Skarner, I would
There's a
gladly
duel
take that
in
flash.
top
Fizz might be going down right now. Nar's ignited, but he just hit
definitely.
Mega. Yeah, that is one really dead Fizz.
Yeah, Fizz just isn't respecting the fact that Nar is ahead. Not only does he have a Black Cleaver completed, but he's got a Warden's Mail and Merc Treads. So he's got enough resistances, and then the Mega Pop every time, it just gives him extra health to ignore the fact that Fizz W is burning him.
Yeah. Fizz should just be trying to stay back, play safe, and farm. Janna just ulted
Janna
to...
flash.
Yeah, Janna flashed to get away from the Skarner ult.
If you look at the CS difference, the Nar's about 50 CS ahead of Fizz, which is almost equivalent to the Kog'Maw Vayne, so you can kind of see that the advantage is nullified just based on how the rest of the map is playing out.
5 Horsemen get scuttle control for Dragon. It's pretty important. It'll be up for like the whole duration of the fight, so.
That is one really fast Skarner now. He's got the scuttle buff, he's got a little crystal buff. I would be a little scared to go in there if I was
Darkwave White's waiting on a ward. They know they're coming.
Oh, looks like they're going in though. I don't know why, but Skarner just left his safe area. The Malphite just destroyed Ahri. Now they're going in on Thresh. He's down. They're chasing down Skarner. He's running for his life, and they stop to kill a blue buff, to kill a pink ward.
Yeah, what happened there is Gnar just hopped over the wall behind them and hit them both with a boomerang, slowing them enough for Malphite to flash ult in there.
It was just slightly weird that the Skarner actually left his safe area inside the crystal and inside the scuttle buff. Once Team Darkwave White came in, they got scared and they ran off.
Well, the problem is, like, even though they had the scuttle control and the crystal, I just feel like Darkwave Wind has just too many tools to deal with it. And that fight was pretty much lost regardless of whether Skarner stayed on there, because I don't think it would have made his team any more tankier or safer. And so they made the call to pull off, but two of them got slowed by the boomerang on the backside, and Fizz wasn't ready to teleport in to help them, so it was kind of, the 5 Horsemen just weren't ready for that kind of play.
I think Malphite flashed to get in on Ahri and Skarner.
Yep.
You kind of
Flash
gotta
ult.
expect that. It's basically Malphite's only job is to go in, so you kind of want to look at Malphite and Skarner as trying to do the same thing, except Skarner's single target and also shorter range, whereas Malphite's longer range, multi-target engage. So they both kind of want to use their flash to engage, like the Skarner wants to flash and grab the Kog'Maw. The only issue is, half the time he's been using it to run away. So it's not up to actually pull the Kog'Maw and try and get rid of him. And even then, this Malphite has actually picked up a blasting wand and is just going to put out more and more damage to the point that Kog'Maw is no longer the only thing you have to worry about.
This Malphite is going to be extremely scary if he starts building a lot of AP.
And that's even disregarding like the fact that there's a Gnar up there who's 2 completed items and on his way to a 3rd at this point.
I wonder if he builds that Giant's Belt into one of the new items, into that Dead Man's Plate. That would be pretty interesting.
I don't
like it on Gnar.
I don't know anything about this new item.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen many of the new items. Like, we're seeing the Zeke's Harbinger, and that's about it out of like the crazy new items that have shown up. Which is kind of interesting because we do have like a Trinity Force Fizz in the top lane, who could go kind of tanky, and there's the new set.
Oh, Malphite just ulted in on Ahri. She's getting, the Thresh Lantern pulls her to safety. She ults just to be sure. Gnar and Skarner having a little fight over here in the river by Baron. Oh, Gnar just Mega Gnar'd over the wall. That's one dead Skarner.
And they see Fizz, they're gonna try and collapse on him. This
They
is
might do
worrying.
Baron.
They're starting Baron.
Yes.
They're starting Baron. They have no vision. 5 Horsemen have no vision that this is happening. They're just pushing mid.
This is great for Team Darkwave White.
This is definitely free.
Yeah. They have absolutely no idea. They're not even coming to check it.
The Darkwave White is... They're doing really well,
The
actually.
blue trinket, and now, yeah.
There they
They've
go.
got
Yep.
6k gold up now. So finally that 1k gold lead is finally ballooning once they've scaled up into a pretty respectable position. And this is in spite of the fact that Vayne is up 60 CS on the Kog'Maw.
Yeah.
The Vayne just seems to never be around when the fights are breaking out. They're like picking off everyone but her, or if she is there, she's just not doing what she needs to be doing.
The problem is it's really hard for this pick to do it. It's like I kind of said this in Champion Select when they were doing the pick ban, that you have this short range AD carry who wants to focus the front line, but you have this Kog'Maw who's going to be at the front with all these shields on him, who can just shred the Vayne regardless of the fact she's ahead of him.
Yeah,
So
the Vayne
Vayne
was...
has to respect it, and so she can't actually get in range. Like
Gnar is going in on Fizz again in top. He's just tossing him around like a sack of sand, and he's down.
And that's another problem this Vayne has, is the Malphite and the Gnar are incredibly strong.
Yeah.
So she can't really show her face around that, or else she'll get destroyed, basically.
Vayne was probably just not a smart pick for the 5 Horsemen.
Yeah, into a Juggernaut, Vayne is actually probably the one pick you would never want as an AD carry. Good picks are longer range AD carries, safer ones like Tristana's okay. Ashe could be okay to start a fight. The problem is the Vayne can't position aggressively to put damage, but also can't position defensively to avoid damage at the same time. So there's no opportunity for the Vayne to actually get any auto attacks on.
Yep, looks like Team Darkwave White is just taking turret after turret, and they're going in on Ahri. She just got smoked. Didn't even get a chance to click that Thresh Lantern.
The Gnar, Mega Gnar, oh!
Oh wow, he just ulted Vayne. She just got...
Yeah, there's just too much to deal with.
There's just so much going on in these fights, I can barely keep it all straight. Malphite just flashed to go in on Thresh. I think he's gonna be just fine though. Fizz is battling them off, but Skarner just goes down.
Yeah, this should
might be game.
I'm pretty sure it is. Like, they just ignored the turret there for so long just because they have Lulu shields, Wild Growth, they're naturally tanky, and then the Janna heal.
Yeah.
It was insane. Like, it was too much to deal with, and they can just ignore the team.
And that's
They got
definitely
the
the end of our
end.
first game.
It didn't matter.
7-18. Well, Team Darkwave White definitely dominated that.